I've had many leading experts on this show, including Matthew Walker, and they've all said the same thing about sleep. They've said it's the biggest positive investment you can make in your own performance. You can have the best strategy in the world, but if you're consistently tired, poor decision-making will follow and eventually cause other things to fail in your life. So if you're looking to optimize your recovery, you should start looking at what you're sleeping on. Our sponsor, Helix, makes high-quality mattresses tailored to your body. It doesn't matter if you run hot, sleep on your side, or need something firm. Helix has a mattress for you. And I asked them recently to send one to a member of my team, and Juan received it. And we travel a lot, so when he's home, quality sleep really matters. And he told me he's getting the best sleep of his life. And the data backs it up, with 82% of people in a Helix study saying they saw an increase in their deep sleep. And with a 120-night trial, you've got 4 months to prove it to yourself. You can get 27% off at helixsleep.com/diary. That's helixsleep.com/diary.
Jamal Edwards, MBE, the normal guy working in Topshop that became an amateur filmmaker and turned into a multi-millionaire. Starting out, Jamal was one of the youngest successful black entrepreneurs in the UK. And when I started my business, he was someone that I admired and looked up to tremendously. I remember stalking him online. And one day when he did a Skype group chat, I asked him a question, and that meant the world to me. Well, today, I get to ask him a few more. Jamal was born in Luton, and at the age of 15, he rapped with his friends under the name SmokeyBarz on a £20 camera phone. His first video was simple, just him filming foxes on his local estate. These videos would eventually become his business, and the beginning of the brand, which we all know, called SBTV. In 2006, Jamal launched SBTV, the first new media business on YouTube, gaining a fan base of over 1 million subscribers and over 600 million views in a very short amount of time. SBTV has launched the careers of many, many people in the music industry, including one guy, which we'll all know, called Ed Sheeran. Voted number 2 in the Guardian's top 30 young people in digital media, he was also named in the Forbes 30 under 30 list in European media and one of GQ's 100 most connected men of all time. I met him in his office in London and we discussed everything from the barriers you face being a young entrepreneur to race, to age, to mental health. We talked about family and we talked about his mum getting cancer at a pivotal moment within his business. We talk about everything. And I'm so unbelievably excited to share this conversation with you today because Jamal, for a long time, has been one of my great, great personal idols, someone I can relate to more than any young entrepreneur out there. So without further ado, I'm Stephen Bartlett and this is The Diary of a CEO. I hope nobody's listening, but if you are, then please keep this to yourself. Jamal, I don't really know where to start. There's so much that I have to ask you. If I take it back in my sort of journey, when I was 18 years old and I was in Manchester, a young kid with big dreams, you were the face that I always saw. And I think because I'm a young black guy that didn't come from a very good upbringing, I didn't have many case studies in my life of successful young black men to look to as a proof case that it was possible for me. But you were one of those people. And I think you've always set a real sort of shining example for me as an entrepreneur, as I've progressed in my career. So first and foremost, I think I just wanted to say thank you.
No, my guy,
because
humbling.
No, for real. I'm
You're
not
smashing it as well, bro.
I'm not a bullshitter, but like genuinely, and you probably won't know this, but there was one day when you were doing these Skype interviews and you were allowing people that followed you to speak to you on Skype. And I asked you a question and you responded on Skype. And I thought that was crazy.
I remember those days.
Yeah. And that was probably, I don't know, 7 years ago or something crazy.
Yeah.
But I guess where I want to start is at the start of your journey. What were you like in school?
I think I think one of the things that my attention span, like there were some things that I did enjoy. I enjoyed like more the physical stuff, more like ICT, stuff like that. But I actually didn't take media or business in school from primary school or high school, which was quite funny how I now got into media and business. But I was I just had a very short attention span, and that led to sort of like behaviour problems. I remember like in year 9, like I got put to like a psychiatrist because they was like, why, what's going on? I think I've still got the report at home. I don't know why they did that. I only went for like a couple sessions because they wanted to just ask me questions and find out a bit more about my life. But yeah, it was just, I have a very short attention span.
And what did the psychiatrist find out? What was their conclusion?
I don't know, like it's just I needed to be stimulated more. I'm just not engaged with
things
like,
that you're not interested in.
Basically, yeah. Which caused to me being like a bit of a class clown or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Did you get good grades?
I got all right grades. I didn't get the grades I wanted to get into a first year at college. So I did a BTEC national diploma in media, moving image, but I had to do a whole nother year because I think I missed one grade because I needed like 4 or 6 A to C's. So I had to do a whole nother year. I did the first diploma for a year, and then I did the national diploma, which was 2 years. So I ended up doing like 3 years at college. So all my mates that went straight to the 2-year course, I had to do a first year course, which was a bit of like a eye opener, and that I should have focused a little bit more in school. But yeah.
I've read and watched a lot about you over the years as you've gone on your journey. I've never heard you talk a huge amount about what your home life was like as a kid. I know you grew up in London, and I know you're incredibly close to your mum. Is there any context of your home life that has shaped who you are today, or shaped the stuff you've described in school and the poor behaviour? Is there anything there that's sort of pertinent or interesting or connected? Or even anything from your sort of home life or, your preschool years that were inspired you to be a little bit more sort of independent and, I guess, carefree? I guess much of the reason I ask that question is because I try and look for patterns in people.
Yeah.
And my parents weren't really around. So when I'd wake up every day, they were already gone. And then when I came home from school and fell asleep, they weren't there. They weren't back from work yet. My mum would just sleep at her job.
Yeah.
So I had this sort of sense of if I was going to have anything in life, it was going to come from something that I did.
So my mum's parents died in a car crash when she was 4. So like my mum and my uncle had to stay with my aunties, and it was very strict, like so strict. And like my mum has then made it very strict for me, like very strict, like not allowed out. Like I wasn't even allowed out until I was like, I don't know what age. I think it was like just as I was turning a teenager. But I remember always coming home, and I always remember them films, like Jack, Robin Williams, where like he's like a big kid, and then he goes home, and all the kids on the area wonder, who is he? Like, yeah, you saw him. Did you see him? I was just like have similarities to that, because I was like, everyone knew I was there, but I wasn't allowed out. Like, what does he do? Like, that had a little bit of an effect on like how I can experience like just life outside of being in my parents' house. My mum is married to my stepdad. I don't know my real dad. So he's been very supportive in my life from the early days of like when I wanted to get certain cameras, certain equipment. But yeah, I think I had a strict upbringing, which made me be much more of a like sort of a rebel when I was allowed to just be free. Because I was like, I'm free now, I can just live a bit.
Again, from watching your journey as an 18-year-old kid sat in Moss Side in Manchester, watching YouTube and reading articles and things like that, I got to see one dimension of being a successful young entrepreneur. But there's this other dimension, which I think, especially at that time, nobody really talks about. And I think it's probably quite hard for you to articulate the true nature of being a young, successful entrepreneur that had a lot of spotlight and a lot of people talking, and really on this wave of sort of YouTube when I was watching you in the day. So I guess my question is, what are the things about being a young entrepreneur when you came up, where you came up, that people just don't appreciate or just don't realize?
I don't know, I think it's just living your life in a public, and I'm all for making mistakes, and for people to learn from them and myself learn from them. But I think it was a lot of pressure of making sure you're like the way you dress, like all that sort of stuff. And it was only to a certain point where people didn't know who I was. It was only the local people that knew who I was. The Google Chrome advert then took me to another level in terms of publicity, which I was, I think, about 19.
Really? And
I was just like, whoa, it's just mad. People coming up to me, taking pictures, people staring at me. I was like, what are they staring at me for? I'll just get mad anxious. I was like, shit, what? And I was like, and then some people, it got to the point of where people take pictures and that, and I'll be like, why are you taking a picture? and I didn't understand, and then I'd be like, what's my name? Like, cause I just think, what, like, do you think I'm mistaken, or do you, like, is it someone else? But most of the time, like, all the time, people say, oh, Jamal, come on, man, like, SBTV, da da da, and then I'm like, yeah, cool. But then also, like, my mum being on X Factor as well, like, I used to see it with her, so she didn't win, but she got, like, 4th place in, like, I think it was, like, 2nd or 3rd series, which is the year that Shane Ward won it. But I remember going, like, shopping and people coming up to her and asking pictures and all that sort of stuff. So I used to see that, and I never used to think that would be for me. Never. I was always Brenda from X Factor's son. And then it, like, switched. It was, like, Jamal from SBTV's mum. And I was just like, it's mad.
How did that feel? People coming up and asking you for photos and stuff? And
I just didn't understand it at first. And then I sort of got a bit used to it. But at first, I was just a bit like, whoa.
And where are you at with it now?
Oh, yeah, I'm cool. Like, I'm cool. I always get, like, people, they'll just literally stare in my face. I'll be like, you right? And then I was like, hi, you right? You know what I'm saying? So I know how to deal with it now. But at first, when I was a little bit younger, I just didn't know how to deal with it because I didn't understand.
So that's the, like, publicity, fame side of being in the spotlight. Yeah. What about the business side in terms of you were at the center of this, like, super fast growing media platform, and you were, like, really an early mover in that space. I imagine you get brands swarming on you, and there's team members, and there's this sort of expectation that you have to be like the CEO and the founder and know what, all of the right moves to make. What's that like at a young age? You got to pay people as well.
Yeah, I think I was like the youngest boss, if you could say that. Everyone that I employed was older than me. Great. And it was very daunting for me to be telling people, oh yeah, do it like this, do it like this. I used to let people sway my decisions because I was like, I've always been taught to respect your elders. So like, if I say, oh, let's do a video like this, someone older than me, but I think it's like this, I'll be like, yeah, probably you know better because you've got more experience, or like more years on your age. But I had to learn to like sort of take that back and actually do what I wanted to do. But in the early days, it was very daunting. Like I would never tell people like, oh yeah, can you do this? Because I'd be like, oh, they're just way older than me. They're not gonna listen to me. I'm like, I'm a kid to them. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think I had to overcome that like fear of just people saying, but you're this age, like what are you doing? Well, you can't tell me to do that. I know I say like that. And it's not saying that like that people that work for me was like that, but that was just that programmed in my head. Like I used to tell myself that over and over again. That was definitely like something I had to overcome.
Because there's like a lot of kids out there that will be thinking, they might be 19 years old, 20 years old, whatever. They'll be thinking, I think I'm too young to start anything or do anything. What would you say from your experience to those kids?
Now, especially, you can start business at whatever age. I did pocket money pitch and kids like 11 years old was pitching me forecasts. I was like, what? This is crazy. So I feel like the age now has been lowered. I think like when we were in school, entrepreneurship and business wasn't really like co-signed as much as it is now. And they're seeing people like myself, people like you, other people like breaking down the barriers and like, you know what, actually enterprise can be done like at whatever age it is. And it doesn't matter what background you're from because like people are actually making it happen.
And so you've got, that Google advert was massive at the time. Actually, I feel like I remember where I was when I saw it. It was
like the first ad break of X Factor that year.
Crazy.
I know. I was like sweating, like literally sweating. I was like, oh my God.
Crazy.
Like I got the list of like where it was going. Like it was on Sky Sports. And,
really? They gave you a list?
Yeah, they gave me a list of every like. It was huge, and like it was like Lady Gaga and Justin Bieber was like my counterparts. I was the one in the UK, and I think the reason why it did well is because like a lot of people related to the story, but it was a surreal moment. It was a surreal moment. And
there's that on one end, which is like the celebration and those like key moments, which I think all business people encounter. What are the hard parts that people don't talk about? The stuff where, people will follow you on Instagram, they'll see, oh, he's got an MBE, he's done this Google advert, he's got all of these amazing honours. I saw you on a Primark poster the other day.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But what are the bits that people don't put on Instagram?
I have my moments, innit? So like, I'll be like, some days I'm just like, oh, I can't be asked. Like, not even can't be asked. It's just like, I don't know what it is. You just feel like demotivated a bit. I don't know where it comes from. Like, and like, I think one of the things you can see that is if I don't post, if I don't post social media, I go disappear for a bit. That's when I'm just like, I just need me time sort of thing. Because it's like, it is a job in itself to keep up the positive messages. Like I do quite often post stuff like if it's not going well, I do try and do that as well, as much as I post the positive stuff, because I just want people to know the realism is it's not all like up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there are some times when I have like down times and where I'm just like, I just want to be left alone. And I think that's so important, and I always try and push those messages as much as I put like positive messages up as well. And I think it has a positive effect of showing the real of what goes on day to day instead of it.
Yeah, because without you saying that, as an 18-year-old kid watching you, I just think Jamal's always on point. He's always 100% motivated, and this is. I'm not
though, and it's like.
And the risk there is, if I have a bad day and I'm someone that admires you, I think there's something wrong with me.
Yeah,
but in fact, I think what you've described is
people
human.
Like you just feel like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I want to do this or do that, and that I try, like that happens every now and then. It does.
Question: does that happen more now than it did at the start of your journey?
Yes, because I'm much more known, so I feel like I've got something to live up to, like more than back in the day. It was just me and my mates, like, and I feel like when I was a little bit younger, you're a bit more nimble. Like I'm getting older now, so it's like the mistakes you make is like, you've been doing this for how long now? You still make mistakes, but not as many mistakes as you make as when you're like younger. So I feel like, yeah, it is a bit more pressure now. But I don't mind if something did bad happen, I would say it. Like I would put it online, and I just got to learn from it, innit?
Yeah, I think of all the entrepreneurs that I know and that I've followed, you've definitely been a real advocate of the truth and showing the behind the scenes that I think other people wouldn't have the strength and the selflessness to show, because there's not a huge upside in showing vulnerability all the time.
No,
it's more something that I think you've done for other people, like you did the documentary about mental health in the music industry and those kinds of things. In business, bad news is inevitable.
Yeah, 100%.
But people don't talk about it, and no one shares that part as much, right? We all post the awards we get, certificates, whatever else. But
yeah, like, because there are brands that, for example, if you're like, to go real simple, if you're pitching for work and you don't get it, that's like, I think one of the things that happens all the time, and necessarily don't talk about that. And I feel like I haven't necessarily talked about that a lot, where we'll go into it. But I guess that's an ongoing conversation, because then you just re-pitch again instead of it being like, we didn't win this brand work, so you wouldn't say the brand. But I think that happens a lot, and I think people need to know that happens a lot. You don't just win every single pitch. Like I don't know any business that wins every single pitch. You always have like, except for man like Steve Bartlett.
No,
of course.
I don't win everything. Bro, I'm joking. We win them, but then we sometimes lose them.
Exactly.
We fuck up.
I know, exactly.
A typo can fuck the whole thing up.
That's what I'm saying. So it happens to me. It happens to you. Like, and I think that's important to know. Like, some people might not get their first business for years. Like you just got to keep on going. And I think that's one of the things I always try and push, is like self-belief, keep on going. Because there were times when I couldn't get certain artists. Even today, I might not be able to get certain artists or certain brand work that I want to try and do, and we don't win the pitch, but we just got to keep on going.
And how do you deal with, what's your sort of coping mechanism with dealing with bad news as a young entrepreneur? And how has it changed over time?
I think now it's much more organised, instead of it being like...
emotional.
Yeah. It's like, cool, it didn't happen, let's keep moving forward. Like whether that's investment or brand work or working with an artist. And yeah, it's just about trying to keep that positive mental attitude. I think back in the day, I was a lot more like, this is all going, like this is gonna flop, like I'm done, like, and I would disappear for like a few days, like no one would be able to get through to me, because I'd be so angry that I didn't get something. And I think that was just from dealing with business from young and not knowing how to deal with it, and knowing that you've actually got a team with you. I had to learn how to do that and delegate, because I always used to be very like, it was all, I want to do everything, and I had to get out of that mindset, because it was killing my like mindset. It was also, my health was deteriorating. It was very, to delegate was like one of the big things that I needed to learn.
But they say that when something becomes a job, or it becomes like monotonous, or like the same every day, and also when you get paid to do it, you lose the creative motivation to do it.
That's why you've always got to have oomph moments. Like, I class them as oomph moments, like moments in my career where it just gives me a new oomph for like a period of time. So like, for example, the most recent one was I did a fashion week party at Soho House, Greek Street.
I saw.
Like, that was an oomph moment. And it was like, we were saying in a group, like, oh yeah, let's do one for Halloween, or let's do another one for Christmas, or whatever. But it was like, no, let that marinate. Let that just like, you know what I'm saying? Let it season. You know, when you put the seasoning in food, just got to let it get the juices, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need to, like, when we're, as well as our losses and our wins, we need to let it sink in. Because like, if you lose, like, yes, dust yourself back up and get back up again, but you just need to realize how did you lose, and how can you like not make that same mistake again. The same thing for your wins, like let it get out there and then you move on to the next thing. And I think like over the years I've always tried to have these oomph moments. Like, I did a talk about creating and curation. I was a creator at first, and then I ended up being a curator. And I think one of the like oomph moments was like when I did the social media hub, the first ever social media hub at Buckingham Palace, where I took like a selfie with Prince Harry and Prince William. And I think it was from like one of that moment, I was like, oomph, like that lasted for like months. And it's like, when we're working, you've always got to think of these moments. Like, and I always try to say, if I have 4 moments in a year, cool, that's good. A moment each quarter. And then I can have like little moments in between that. But it's just reminding people I'm still here. Like, because I'm like 10 plus years in the game now. It's like, you always just got to have them sort of moments.
10 plus years in the game. You know, you started SB a long, long time ago. I must have been about 16, 17 when you started, when you got into the game. How has your sort of love for what you do changed over time? You talked a little bit there about oomph moments, but I'm like, the reason I asked this question, I think, because I'm like maybe five years into my business technically. I'll call it 6 or 7 before we really got going, but 5 years into my business, and I still ask myself this question a lot about how much I love it every day and how passionate I am to come to work. And if there is ever a day where I come in and I don't have the drive, I start asking myself all these questions as to where it's gone. So like 10 years into SB, how are you feeling about the brand today?
I feel like I could be doing a lot more, if I'm honest. Cards on the table. But again, like just from when I was a kid, my mind is like that. I'm involved in so much different stuff. It's like, I need to focus on it a little bit more. Like the music scene right now, killing it. And even not just the scene in general. Like, I was with Maya Jama the other day, and like she's smashing the game. I was with like the Showboys, they're smashing the game. I was with like different camps and units all over, up and down the UK. It just feels like a real moment. So I feel like I could be doing, with SB, I could be doing a lot more. And like 2020 vision, I'm gonna be doing a lot more. I have so many plans with like big institutions that I'm working on at the moment behind the scenes. One with British Library, so like, I'm like talking to like big brands, and these are oomph moments that I could do just that, and that will last a few months, and I'll do that again, last a few months or a couple of months, whatever, and I'll just carry on from doing like that. I feel like I'll be doing a lot more. Like when I go out in the streets, people are like, why are you doing this no more? Where's the... Like, I want to bring back F64s, like do more A64s, but people got to realise I was making content for so long, and like the community stuff just took over my life a little bit, and I really got stuck in with setting up the youth centres and working on that behind the scenes. So yeah, I think, but in terms of SB, I could be doing a lot more.
On that sentence there, I could be doing a lot more. One of the things that I think makes a lot of people that message me put a lot of pressure on themselves is that sentence. Is that constant feeling. I have the same feeling, right? I always think, fuck, you should be doing more, you should be further, you should be doing better.
Yeah.
And even like a 18-year-old kid that's just starting out, they're looking up at you, they're looking up at like other people, and they're thinking, oh, I should be doing a lot more. And I think we're all in a world where we're all sat here thinking, I should be doing a lot more. How do you deal with that pressure? And does it feel like pressure? Does it make you feel like anxious?
100%. Like, I think it reaffirms it when I see people and they tell me, why aren't you doing this? And I'm like, why aren't I doing this? Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you could tell yourself again and again, why aren't you doing something? But when someone else tells it to you, then it's like, that's the consumer. Their voice matters. Because you have it already in your brain, but someone just unlocks it. Like I always say, people have what it is, what it is they want to do inside them. Like I unlocked it when I was 15. Like someone's nan could unlock it when I was 80. She started up a knitting business. And it's like, but everyone has that passion inside them. It's just something that triggers it, or something that you find where, I can do that. And then you go and run with it. So I feel like, yeah, it's like there inside you and someone just unlocks it. And then that's what it's like, you know what, I could be doing more.
Do you procrastinate?
Oh, I am the biggest procrastinator. Really? I am so bad. I don't know if people know that, but I am the biggest procrastinator in all time. I actually think I'd be top 3, top 10, top 3. It's so bad. I don't know how, it's like one of the biggest things. Like, I don't really talk about it, but it's bad. There'll be certain things, like certain videos that's still not out from years ago. Like, it's like I'm a gerbil, like a hamster. I just keep everything stored, like, and it's really bad. Like, it's a clutter, like, in my brain. But, like, there's projects that I've been, like, on the table for ages, like, big projects. And it's just because, like, I'm just like, yeah, oh, and oh. Like, do you know what I'm saying? If you know that meme, then you know that meme. In your mind, what is procrastination?
For me, procrastination is getting to the point where you've thought about something so much that you've almost talked yourself out of immediate action.
Yeah.
And like in a way, so you might think to yourself, I've got that essay to do in school. I really fucking don't want to do it. And there's that question which I don't know how to answer. And oh God, I have got some time and da-da-da. And you talk yourself so much out, you find yourself fucking like kicking the ball at a fucking wall instead.
Yeah, and you go and find other things to do, which doesn't have anything to do with that.
When the task at hand, the thing that you're avoiding, there tends to be a psychological, often bullshit barrier as to why you're not confronting it. So it might be, you don't know the answer to question 3. It might be that you fucking hate it. Like it could be it might be that you're like scared of failing. A lot of people procrastinate from doing things because they think they'll fail.
Yeah, so that's like me and talking. I can't do keynotes.
I think this is something that will surprise a lot of people.
I can't do keynotes. It's just like my fear. Like I just think of like getting clammy hands thinking about it now. But like there's been so like, whether it's like not paid or like big paid jobs, I've had to turn them down. Like because I can't get over that going on stage for 15 minutes and just talking.
I've got a little game for you, Jamal, here. So I'm an 18-year-old kid and I come to you, Jamal, and I say, Jamal, I respect you and admire you so much. Yeah. I've got a problem though. Yeah. I can't do keynotes.
Oh, allow me, bro. I say go look at Steve Bartlett. He's the don at it. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, what would you say to me though? Genuine question. What are you talking about?
Go look at Steve Bartlett's videos. Are you mad?
No, but surely it's the same principles as everything else you've done and overcome in your life. It's the same set of like...
I don't know, but I'm like so comfortable with not doing it. Like, and I feel like I've built that barrier in my head. Like my agents are like, Jamal, do media training. We get public speaking courses. They do all the top speakers in the game. Sarah Ken Robinson, all. And I was like, I just can't. I just can't. Maybe one day I'll get over it. But at this moment in time, I've managed, and this is what I'm saying, I've managed to, I feel like, what if I've managed to get to where I am today without doing it? Like, and then I think, imagine if I did do it, like I could be just doing, do you know what I'm saying? It's just nuts. Like how I've not, that barrier in my brain won't allow me to do it. And I've done a TEDx talk, which I said the future Prime Minister will come from YouTube. And it went all right, but like there could have been, I think like after that I closed myself off again. Like I should have taken that, learned on how I can improve, because basically it was like I just wanted to finish it, and anything I wanted to finish I rushed. Like I did an Hermes catwalk, like my first ever catwalk. I couldn't believe I did it. Yeah, and like literally I walked on and I walked so fast to get off the catwalk, so I was just like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like the same thing with talking. I was talking so fast, I wasn't letting the words marinate. I think people are gonna know this word, marinate. Marinate can be applied to all aspects of life, trust me. But yeah.
What are you scared of?
Talking. Keynotes. I think failure, and I think like having people not care about you anymore. At the end of the day, the audience is the most important thing. The reason why we're doing this is like we've got an audience, we've got like followers, we've got people that look up to us, we've got people that, and I feel like once a lot of people don't care about is what you're doing, you've got to look at something else. So it's like, if people are not checking through anymore, then you don't really have a business, because the consumer is like quite important to our businesses anyway. And just not being able to do the stuff that I procrastinate about a lot of time as well. So like there's loads of projects and I think crazy stuff. I think like every day is our last day, I feel. And like sometimes I go to sleep and I'm like, crazy stuff. Like what happens if I'm not alive to see that? Like, I don't know why I think like that, but it's like there's like that, and there's other stuff like I've got a project with the V&As or like an artist that I'm going to work with in like a month's time, 2 months' time. But I think what happens if I'm not going to be alive for that? I don't know.
Where does that come from?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I just think mad stuff like that. I'll go to sleep and I'll be like, damn. Like, if I just like... But I think I've had a lot of death in my life as well, which is like sort of... Like I've known people that have like died in their sleep, like SADS I think it's called, where it's like your heart stops. And then like I've known couple people like that, or like people that are not around no more. And it's just like...
Your mum had a battle with cancer.
Yeah.
Which you talked about a lot. What was that like? Because my mum, I remember when I was younger, I think I was about 12 years old, my mum came home and she said to me, there's a lump in my breast. And for the next maybe about 2 weeks until she had her second stage scan of it, it was like, world shattering, I guess. And I must have been 12, 11, maybe even younger. So when I read that you had been through a very similar thing and your mum had been diagnosed, it turned out it was a cyst, which she had removed. A lot of people don't understand what that must be like, especially when you've got this sort of big business that you've got to maintain and keep focus and keep up appearances over here. But then something like that so personal and close to home happens. What's that like?
I just removed myself from a lot of stuff. I just didn't want to just be out and about. And I feel like it was definitely a moment that made me appreciate life a little bit more and providing a little bit more for my family and close ones around me. Just like opened my mind a lot. Like, we're not on this earth forever. Like, we're alive. The only thing certain is death. I don't want to say this as we're talking about death a lot, but it's like you've got to try and do as much as you can in the time that you're given. Like, and I feel like everyone's got the same 24 hours on this planet. Like, I saw that quote, like, you've got the same 24 hours as Bill Gates, Richard Branson, whatever. So it's like trying to appreciate that and trying to give it all as you can, but still maintain a healthy lifestyle, because otherwise it will, like, you'll spend, like, I hear people that spend 21 hours awake, like, working on it. You got health is wealth as well, because health is wealth as well, because it's important. If you're creating a business or you want to do something and you ain't healthy, that's going to affect you. Like, your health is the most important thing.
One of my, I don't think I've ever said this before, but one of my fears is that I'll be so consumed in running my business, and then one of my close family members will die, and I'll look back and regret not spending more time with them when I had the chance. And I think I don't want that moment to make me realise what actually mattered.
That happened to me.
Really?
Yeah. Like I've got a very big family. Like, I think like my grandparents were like 18 brothers and sisters. Crazy. Like, I don't know half of my family. And I was so, like, I would never go to gatherings, like all that sort of stuff. And it was like, and then it came a period of time where I started wanting to go back and check my aunties and my uncles and my cousins, because I realised I was consumed by it. Did you get to that point?
Consumed by?
Like, your business? Where
it's now. Like,
yeah.
I don't call my... Like, I'll be keeping it facts, because it's just, what's the point of me lying? I call my mum... This sounds so bad, right? Your opinion of me is going to go in the fucking toilet. Once every 2 months.
Wow.
It's bad. My mum and dad live in the UK, I'm in the southwest in Cornwall. I travel around the world. That's why my suitcases are over there. I'm flying to New York. Just been told I'm flying to New York now. So like, and then I don't, like, I'm not good at, the balance is my biggest flaw. I don't have any balance. It's all work for me. And that's why I say that's one of my biggest fears, is figuring out before it's sort of too late for them to smell the roses, that I had a priorities issue. And it's almost like I'm aware of it, but I've not done anything about it yet.
I relate. I relate. And I believe everything happens for a reason. Like, I remember when I moved out.
which is when your mum got diagnosed.
No, so when I moved out like 21 or something like that, yeah.
Right.
And then I sort of moved back to like when that happened.
Right.
But in that period of time, I didn't the same thing. Like I was so into it. Like my mum and dad would message me, and it would take me like time to message them back, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're right." Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, so I resonate with that. But then also, like, I bumped into my auntie who used to look after me when I was younger, and I thought about it. I've never had a picture with her. And I was like, what? So I sat her down. I was like, look, we're taking a picture. Like, no, we're not. And I was like, pictures create memories, innit? And I was just thinking about it. Like, our family is important, but at the same time, like, people that I've only just met, I like could have more meaning in my life than some family members in the whole time, and that's bad.
Crazy.
But like, that's because you don't see them. That's the people that you connect to and that you work with on a daily basis. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and your people in your business become your family, and that's just how life is. And I think people beat themselves up over a little bit, but I do think it's important to check for the people that mean a lot to you. Definitely.
And when you got that news that your mum she was sick, how did that impact your ability to run your business?
Fortunately, my people in my business was like, Jamal, take as much time as you need.
Right.
In my head, I was like, oh my God, is she gonna die? Like, cause I was like, oh my God, like, I think she had like stage 3 or stage 4. I was really late, like, that she got diagnosed with it. And like, I think one of the big things that I learned from that was her positive attitude and self-belief came from me. Like, just from me just being, do you know what I'm saying, going through it. And she applied that, like, very, like, even though she's losing her hair, like, all that sort of stuff, she applied that. She was like, I took your mindset, and I was like, I'm going to make it through it. And she made it through it, which is good. And now she's, like, killing the game, like, on loose women. So she's doing good. She's doing good.
It's awesome. One of the things I actually spoke about in the last podcast I did was about race and the topic of race. Here's my kind of opinion. One of the things that I've got to be honest frustrates me a little bit is when minorities, specifically black minorities, because it's the group that I feel like I can identify with the most, fall into the trap of thinking that their race will hold them back, or even in cases of, like, you know, gender or even ageism, will hold them back because they are black. And as a young, successful black man like yourself, do you ever see that? And what's your opinion of it?
I used to, but that's about, I used to think it's because I'm black.
Yeah.
And now,
I do as well.
Like, I don't think that as much, but that depends upon the people that you hang around with and that you surround yourself with, because I surround myself with so many different groups, and I like to connect those groups. So, like, my upmarket city boys, I would connect them to, like, my state boys, and we'd go to, like, Soho House, for example, and they'd all be there, and they all get on, and they all, like, fine, but everyone seems to make this segregation. And I think back in the day, I used to have that in my head. If I never used to get anything, it's like, oh, it's because I'm black, it's because I'm black. And then I had built my mindset out of that, because it was going to keep me trapped if I kept, like, thinking like that all the time. And I just got to, like, I feel like it doesn't matter what race you are. It goes deep.
It goes deep.
Like, it goes deep.
Yeah,
Like,
it goes deep,
obviously, the history.
Yeah.
Like, that you can see, like Black history, and you can learn about it. And I'm not going to go into it. I know bits about it, and I'm not going to say I'm like a historian or whatever. But I know about, like, the oppression and stuff, oppression, all that. But it's like we're in a new age, and people can say, oh, what age or race or whatever, but it's in your mind to be the change you want to see in the world. Like, that's a Gandhi quote. Like, and I try and make sure that I don't let that affect how I move, because otherwise it's not a blame game. Like, you just got to carry on. You got to do it. And
it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy if you start to believe it, right?
Yeah, like, you manifest. Do you know what I'm saying? Why don't you manifest you're going to do something else? Not manifest, oh, it's because I'm black. The reason I didn't get that is because I'm black, or it's because I'm young. Like, I remember I used to do that as well. Like, it's because I'm young. But then, like, ended up employing someone that had 20 years of experience, and then me and that person combined got the job. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you just got to think, you're in a situation, how do you take it and change it to the way that it can fit you, and then build on it.
And that's what I think frustrates me about it, is because I see the issue. I know discrimination is a very real thing, and I'm not denying that it is.
Yeah, 100%.
I think we all have our own prejudices.
Yeah,
you know,
stereotypes and all that.
100%.
Yeah.
So, but that's not something that I can really change at scale. Like I can't change the prejudice in people.
But you can change your mindset.
Yeah, and I actually think that the prejudice or the belief that I'm being I'm at a disadvantage because of something like my skin color that I can't change is more dangerous or more conducive with me not being successful than the little bit of prejudice that John at that brand might have towards people that look like me. So I think the mindset becomes a bigger issue. This is a controversial topic, of course, because, you know, it's the important nuance is that, you know, prejudice and discrimination are still very real things.
Yeah, 100%. But it's how you deal with it. There's that saying of, like, people get thrown things at them all the time, but it's your reaction that is what makes it whatever it is.
Exactly,
do you know what I'm saying? Look at the football at the moment and racism. For example, Raheem could turn around, run into the crowd and start slapping whoever is being racist, but no, he deals with it properly, like a big man, diligently, and do you know what I'm saying? So it's about how you deal with it, definitely.
You spoke in your documentary about mental health in the music scene. You spoke a lot about your own battles with anxiety. It's something that seems to be more prevalent now in our generation than ever before. You know, people point their fingers at social media and all these kinds of things. You mentioned earlier that you felt you had a very cluttered mind, which I thought was an interesting use of words. What has your sort of experience with mental health been, and are you closer to understanding what is causing it and what helps to sort of, I guess, cure it?
Yeah, like I find it affects everyone. Like you have these moments, these times where you wake up and I don't know, your serotonin levels might be low or whatever. But like I can only talk for like how I deal with it. So like how I deal with it is like trying to eat better. Like, because when I have heavy meals, it just makes me feel groggy and I just feel, do you know what I'm saying?
Slow.
Gym, like, is another thing. Keeping, like, healthy and just switching off sometimes and spending some time with, like, friends and that is quite important. Like, a recent thing is, like, football for me. Like, I was obviously a massive football fan when I was younger, but when I started doing SB, it was like I couldn't go to the pub and watch games or go to Stamford Bridge and watch the games. So music took over my life, and it was like, even again, like Chelsea was playing Valencia yesterday, and I was talking at Havas, and it was like, I've got a season ticket, and it's like I balance, like it's happening again, like where I'm stuck in between, like do I go here and do I turn this down? And I think a lot of people didn't realize that I was a massive football fan, and like I've like started going to a lot more games, and it just removes me from everything, and I'm just in the game for like that period of time, which I find for me personally, like is like a relief, like just from my crazy world, like, and then I go back to my normal world again. Like, it's a bit weird, but yeah.
And I read somewhere that your sort of relationship with anxiety is quite unpredictable, in the sense that anxiety comes over you randomly without apparent cause.
Yeah, like I'll be in a place or I'll go into a place and I'll be like, I don't know, I just like leave.
And did that start at a certain age or a certain time, or was it?
I think so, yeah. It's like, I think it was a confidence thing as well. Like from young, I always wanted to make videos and just put them out there, and whatever topics I wanted to talk about, I was going to do it through videos, and that was it. I wasn't going to have like no real life interaction. And I think that like it's just always been there. I don't know how to explain it really. But I think a lot of it is confidence of, like, it used to be like money gives you confidence, and then I realized your actual like life and your relationships gives you confidence with people. Like, and I think it was just the wrong messaging that I was looking at and I was giving into, that allowed my brain to be sort of sidetracked into what is life, what is a fulfilled life, and then that's what created me getting anxious in certain places. Like, oh, I don't like this vibe or whatever. But I remember I worked in Top Man for like 4 or 5 years, and that actually built my confidence a lot, because I used to have to go up to people and ask people for store cards I did not know. And I think that was one of the most frightening things I had to do. And that helped me like build like more relationships with people, talking to people, because I was just a very closed kid.
When I was, I just did this show with Channel 4 in a school called Secret Teacher. So
Yeah.
And it was one of the things that I discovered from that process was that the people that I thought were the class clowns. So I walked into this classroom, I see all these kids. Some of them are like throwing pencils, telling the teacher to F off, throwing bottles, just messing around. And I'm sat there in lesson 1 thinking, these kids are just assholes. Like they're just like horrible people, right? And then the more I got to know the kids, you sort of ravel their stories and find out that the ones that are the biggest class clowns and behaving the worst were in fact bullied for 4 years when they were, like 6 years old. And they are the ones that have the lowest confidence. And in fact, their behavior was kind of a way to mask their kind of lack of confidence in themselves or the education or whatever. Do you think is that something that you can relate to? Or?
Yeah, definitely. I think and the thing with me, I picked the wrong battles, from when I was young. I remember in year 7, I was in class, and I think someone must have threw a rubber in the back of my head, yeah, and I was like, what? I just got so angry, and I think with that certain group of people that person was hanging around with, I had a problem with them, and I think, I don't know where it came from, whatever. I just thought he's just picking on people, whatever. And I remember I had an outburst when I was younger, in the early days when I was year 7, and you're everyone's new. It's you're making your name. It's you're finding out who your group of friends are, and you're sort of figuring out how you're going to go from year 7 to year 11. And I think, it can have an effect.
You talked a second about figuring out more as you've gotten older what fulfillment is in life and what happiness really is.
Yeah.
Do you have that answer?
I don't have the answer.
Do you know what it is for yourself? Do you know what the things are that...
for me, what makes me happy is being able to give back. Okay. I think when earlier, years ago, I think money was a big happiness factor, but I've known people that have got serious money and they're not happy. So I feel happiness for me is being able to give back and improve other people's lives. And I was doing that for years with SB. I'd put artists on and then they'd blow up. And then I'd be like, yes, I've been helped a career. Do you know what I'm saying? And then after that, it became more about the community of doing the youth stuff. And that for me is fulfillment.
And you, on the topic of giving back to people, you're opening youth centres back up in London?
Yeah. I've got 4. I was supposed to do 1, and then I ended up opening 4 because I just got carried away. They were centres that were closed. 2 were drop-in sessions where young people can come and just somewhere outside of school and outside of your home, where you can come and just talk, if you've got problems or whatever. And we want to try and do a lot of mental health workshops. And then we've got another session which is music and media, which JB have kind of throwing loads of stuff at us. Apple have given us loads of stuff where young people can come and learn to produce, film, anything that you want. And then we've got one which is sports, which is for kids that want to do sport. And I think the main thing that I want to do with these centres is we've engaged over 150 kids over the past 13, 14 weeks. But it's if a young person comes to me and says, I ask them, what do you want to do? One was I want to be a lawyer. One wants to be a sprinter. One wants to be a librarian, whatever. I would then use my contacts to connect them to that right person. So then I'll go speak to a law firm, or I'll go speak to Apple, or I'll go speak to the British Library, and then get that young person in there for work experience, whatever, and to try and help build their self-belief and confidence. Because I think that's one of the big things that I didn't have from when I was young. I didn't really have the confidence and self-belief because no one used to tell me, you could do that, you can do that. I just sort of looked at the TV and the newspapers and internet and made up my own mind. But that's one of the big things that I want to try and do for the young people today.
What impact did money have when you left Top Man and started making some money?
I don't know. People like never know. People might be scheming on you. Touch wood. I've like never been like robbed or whatever, but like you could just never know. I've had people like say, "Oh, Jamal, be careful! Like people kidnap you and whatever." And I'm like, because I think like people have that perception of you're making loads of money in the early days, and it wasn't that at all. Yeah. But it was like, oh, you've got like millions of views. You must be making loads of money. So I feel like money brings happiness and sadness, I think. But in the early days, I used to think money made the world go round. I don't think that anymore.
Why not?
Because money comes and goes. Like, you're not going to take like all the clothes that we're wearing and that. When you're in the grave, it's not going to matter. Obviously, you're going to have money left back for your family, your close ones, whatever. But it's like, you have money and you lose money. I've had money, I've lost money. Like, so it's like...
If I gave you 100...
Like a love-hate relationship.
If I give you a check for 1 billion right now, would it make you happier? Because he's smiling.
I don't know. Yes and no, do you know what I'm saying? It has its pros and its cons. Like, and I think it's what I would use the money for. Like, I think if I use the money for self, like go and buy a big yacht, house, like, because that could be very lonely. Like, whereas if I went and I did a tour and I opened up centres, obviously you want to spend a little bit of money on yourself, but if you spend it all on yourself, I think that would create like crazy sort of dynamic. Like that would like go crazy. Because some rich people I know are so bored. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna go fly to Monaco today. Yeah, I'm gonna go fly here, and it's like, do you know what I'm saying? But you can surround yourself with those rich people, but like normal people, they have 9 to 5s. Not gonna come because you want to fly there for like God knows how long. But I don't know.
You said about money can make you feel quite lonely, especially if you get a big ass house and you're like, it's a mistake I made when I was 24, bought a big house, 40 minutes away from all my friends, thinking I was some big guy. And then realised that I get home at midnight, so it's a 40-minute drive that I didn't want to do at night, and an hour in the morning.
I think everyone does that. I did that as well.
Stupid.
Yeah, I did that as well. Like, and then I realised I wasn't like for people to come visit. It was like it's long, but then you realise who your true friends are a little bit if they come and visit. And there was only a few that actually came to visit, like. Where I was living far. Like, I basically went from west to east.
Right.
I don't know why. But and that journey is like an hour in itself.
City,
so but yeah, like you actually realise who your true friends are. And I feel like when you're creating a business, you're gonna get a lot of people that will be like, oh, you forgot about me. Like, where are you? Like, do you know what I'm saying? But the real ones always be there. And I've realised that years later down the line. But it used to affect me, like, why are my friends not talking to me anymore? Like, they just think like I'm big-headed or whatever. But they didn't realise I was just chasing a dream. And I think at a young age, they only saw that as like, they didn't realise that until now. But like, okay, we get it. And I think that's because as you grow up, you gain experiences and you learn how to sort of deal with stuff.
And is it has there been real lonely moments for you running the business? And
yeah, there's been sort of lonely parts.
Because people say that entrepreneurship and like running businesses is a really lonely.
Yeah,
lonely
I think
game.
I think that's what I had to deal with when I was younger. Like, now, I think I've got like quite a good support group, but when I was younger, I didn't have that support group. And I think that's what like was programmed into my brain. Like, this is how business is, and I don't think it is and it isn't. So yeah, like I've dealt with like the lonely aspect from when I was younger, and I didn't have anyone to ask. And I remember like my parents like didn't think I could ask them because they didn't understand. And it's like, if I ask them about certain things, they'll be like, oh, I don't get it. So I've dealt with the loneliness when I was younger. Now, if there's loneliness, I know how to deal with it. When I was younger, I didn't know how to deal with it, and I dealt with it however I did. But
what's the future for Jamal Edwards then? What's the big, when you look into I don't necessarily have a plan for myself. I don't expect people to have a plan. But when you think about your future, what is that? What does it look like and feel like?
I want to do my own podcast. I don't know. I live like power of now, innit?
Nice.
I live in the power of now. I like to do more like personal brand stuff, and I feel like I've been building the Jamal Edwards brand outside of the SB. I'd like to like do some more management and like travel the world a bit as well, but travel the world on much more of a leisure tip instead of always being around work. I don't think that will ever happen, but I can talk it into existence. I'd like to do more like youth centres, I'd like to open up more youth clubs. I'd like to be involved in more entrepreneurship, manage musicians.
Will you ever be satisfied?
Never. You can never be satisfied. That should be on a t-shirt, never satisfied.
If you were to, I know you don't like talking about this topic because you said it earlier, but if you were to drop dead today,
Yeah.
would you have any regrets about the way you'd done Jamal?
I don't think so. And I don't know. Is that the right? Is there a right answer for that?
There's not a right answer, no.
Yeah, I don't know. I
feel the same way.
Like, I feel like I had a good run. Yeah. I feel like it's decent. I don't know.
No, I feel the same way.
I think, yeah.
Would you still be thinking a little bit though? I could have done.
Yeah, 100%. I could have done that project. I could have filmed that person. I could have done that acting role or whatever. I don't know. And I think that will always be in my head.
Probably
and I feel
what
like,
drives you.
yeah, do you know what I'm saying? And I really believe in just keep on going. Keep on going no matter what it is.
This is my last question. You're known for your network and for being a
Network is your net worth.
Exactly. And you're someone, of all the people that I've probably had on this podcast, I don't think anybody's got a better network or sort of a phone book than you because it's
only Steve Bartlett, of course.
No, mine's nothing like yours.
Come on, my bro.
No, not my network isn't like yours,
man.
bro.
No, you're humble, bro.
It's not there. These are the facts.
Well, no, come on, man.
No, but this is because it's central to your business model as well as being able to connect people, bring them on, and then the success of SBTV has been blowing these people up like Ed Sheeran, etc. So I guess my question I always ask everybody: you're having a dinner party.
Oh God, who's on the table?
6 people. I'm there because it's my house.
Come on,
right? You're there, right?
Yeah.
4 other people, and the only
dead or alive.
Dead or alive.
Oh.
And also want to know what the starter is, the main course and the dessert.
Jesus. Oh my God. Give me time. All right.
You can have all the time you want.
All right.
Who was the first person that popped to mind when I said that? Was there a person?
Yeah.
Who was it?
It was Stephen Hawking and Nelson Mandela.
Really?
Yeah. Because I met Stephen Hawking before. Yeah. It was mad. And I think he met my mum as well. When my mum was in, we were Rock You, so he went to go watch that at the Dominion Theatre. I was just trying to think of who are the greatest minds in the world, mixed with random ones, I don't know, Chuckle Brothers or something.
Chuckle Brothers.
I had Chuckle Brothers there, man. So yeah, I think
does Stephen Hawkins get a seat?
Yeah, definitely. Nelson Mandela. I have some females in there, so Mother Teresa or something.
Nice.
One
more. That's it.
Wait,
4. You sat them that. I can ask them to get back up again. 4 people, dead or alive. Stephen, I'm going to have to ask you to stand back up. Jamal's not sure. Nelson, if you could just get to your feet.
Wait. Oh my days. Damn.
Got to put them back on the waiting list.
Oh no. How could you do that to a man like Stephen? Oh mate. I'm using it really old school, just to get some knowledge, you know what I'm saying? I'd say throw Oprah Winfrey in there as well. Yeah.
If you had to invite one person that's featured on SBTV, who would it be? Not easy question.
Do you know when someone came to my head? Dave.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's sick.
He's I feel because I'm watching Top Boy and he smashed that role as well. That's what person that came to my head straight away.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
he's killing the game.
I'd say Dave. Fried dumplings, for the starters.
Nice.
Yeah. Then for the main,
what's your African heritage? Where are you from?
I'm from St. Vincent, Caribbean. So nice. St. Vincent and Grenadines.
I was born in Botswana.
Oh shit. Botswana to St. Vincent. I'd just going off on topic, but I'd like to find my real dad one day and know what side that side is. I don't know what my other side is, which is a bit...
Have you ever tried to find him?
Yeah, and... no, I don't know. Done that ancestry thing, innit?
Right.
I don't know how true that is. That's a whole nother kettle of fish. That's a whole nother
conversation.
Thing. Yeah. But yeah, the main... do you know what? I'm just going to go standard... like rice, peas and chicken, I think.
Nice.
Now this is so stereotypical. Yeah, of course he's going to choose that. Do you know what? Actually, I will have the jasmine tea smoked chicken.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like that. Oh, that's still chicken. Oh my God. I'm thinking about chicken so much. Do you know what? I'll go throw in some sea bass.
Sea bass, okay.
Sea bass with rice and
Man's
some
just trying to
nice,
be bougie now.
some nice, but it's got to have loads of garlic. I love garlic and ginger with some basmati rice. Yeah, with some nice sauce. And then for dessert, I will have scones. Oh my God.
Scones?
I love
didn't expect
scones.
that. You've been hanging around with Royals too much.
Nah, just at Fortnum and Masons, as you do.
Oh, right.
I love scones, yeah. Because I'm not a big dessert. Like I like brownies and jelly and ice cream, sort of. But scones, yeah. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to get some scones today. I've started it. I'm gonna at you in a story. Be like, Steve, I've got scones.
Like clotted cream.
Yeah, clotted cream and jam. Oh my God, my mouth is watering. I'm going for scones. And then for the drink, I'll have a ginger beer.
Oh, really?
Old Jamaica ginger beer, that banging
Roots.
with some hot chocolate. And the thing, I've never drunk coffee in my life. Like people always have an espresso. I like Cafe Patron, but I've never had coffee because I feel like if I give into coffee when I'm tired, that's just gonna be. I know people that wake up and that's it. I have coffee every day. But yeah, that's my meal. Yeah,
It's dope. A little bit of everything, and you clearly are a foodie, and you've got that sort of African, heritage, Jamaican heritage, which is Caribbean heritage, which is dope.
You got there in the end.
Yeah, got there. Yeah. Listen, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on SB.
Dope to,
The other SB.
Maybe that's the podcast. You should start SB.
Yeah, and just do some SBs first. I'll do you, and then I'll do Still Bangles.
Every SB.
Savannah
That would
Blake.
be dope. That'd be dope.
Who else is there? I don't know. Get thinking.
Anyway, thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Nice one.
Pleasure.
Safe.
Thanks.